ng mga exit. So parang it's a closed circle loop, although may mga iba pang pwedeng daanan. Okay. So for example, you can see here itong part na to. Si switch, whatever mo, yung mga switch to. So syempre may dalawang path ka papunta doon sa although ito medyo loop-free yung path. Kung mapapansin mo, may ibang mga daanan din. So if you see here, yung mga naka-line na to, pabaakin niya kasi nga, yun nga, this is already a loop path. So ang objective ni spanning tree is to create a loop-free path as well as you have your own redundancy kasi in a network, redundancy is typically, it's a good thing. Kasi yun nga, you have multiple exits. STP. So, the spanning tree protocol eliminates yung loops at the LAN level. Eliminates loop at data link layer level of a bridge LAN. So, SDP-enabled bridges can complete spanning tree calculations by exchanging what we call yung BPDUs. So, lahat ng switches, nag-exchange sila ng BPDU. Until such time na makakuha sila ng superior na BPDU, that's the time na babaguhin nila yung root bridge dun sa calculation. So basically, si STP, ang trabaho niya is to calculate a loop, the most optimal path based on parameters. Configuration BPDU carries the following. So root ID, sino ba yung root bridge? Root path cost, ano yung cost ko papunta dun sa root bridge. Designated bridge ID, so ano yung bridge ID ko, and of course may mga designated port IDs din yan. Initially, each port generates a configuration BPDU with the current switch as the root bridge. So ina-assume niya ako yung root bridge unless may mas superior na BPDU ako matatanggap. So yun yung pinakang ng BPDU. After topology converges, root bridge sends out configuration BPDUs regularly and other bridge just forwards these BPDUs. So what if may change? Pag may change, syempre, magsisend ako ng BPDU. Now, if I find that BPDU na a bit more superior, then yun yung gagawin kong root bridge. Ay, sorry sir. So the bridge, paano ba ina-elect yung root bridge? So, the bridge ID consists the bridge ID priority, the bridge priority, and the bridge MAC address. The root ID is the root ID of the bridge that transmits the bridge that it believes to be the root. The bridge with the lowest bridge ID is elected the root. So, paano ko ba ina-elect yung root bridge na yan? For example, medyo magulo kasi itong bridge whatever na. Anyway, yung STP, when you configure STP, may dalawang parameters ka na pwedeng iset dyan. So, priority. Usually, ito pala yung usually na sineset, yung priority. And sometimes may port priority din. Na itong priority, higher, better, lower, better. Anyone? Is it higher, better, or lower, better?
Higher, better.
Baliktad. Lower, better actually. So, take note, pag nagkakalculate kayo ng STP, pag nagsiset kayo, usually sa switches, ang sineset mong root bridge is yung core switch. So, ang priority na pwede mong iset dito ay 0 up to I think 65536 ata. If I can recall correctly. But it's a factor of 4096. I'll have to double check ano yung priority. Factor divisible. Sorry. Should be divisible. Divisible to 0. Pag sinet mo yung priority to 0, automatic ikaw na yung root bridge. So wala nang tanong-tanong dyan. Port priority, also lower better. But yung port priority usually, nagmamatter lang siya kapag may dual link ka between the same switch. Okay. Now, question. What if, for example, ang priority ko is 3, sorry. Okay. I have 3 switches, equal yung priority nila. Okay. Equal yung priority nila. Saan ako titingin ngayon? MAC address. So, titingin ako sa MAC address ngayon. Higher better, lower better? Lower better. Bakit, sir?
Yun kasi yung when it comes to MAC addresses, dalawa yung ginagawa ng root.
Well, actually, hindi yun, sir, ang sagot. Ang sagot dito is device age. Pag mas mababa yung MAC address mo, ibig sabihin, mas luma yung device mo, di ba? Kasi, yung pabrika yung gumagawa ng mga ano mo, eh. Tama? Mo pabrika yung gumagawa ng mga network card mo. Yung network card na yun, may nakataling MAC address. So, syempre, bakit mas ipa-prioritize ko yung mas mababa? Kasi mas luma yun, now na yun sa network. So, yun yung actually logic ng pag-elect ng root bridge. Okay. Okay, let's go to port roles naman. If you're the root bridge, lahat ng port mo are designated ports. All ports on the root bridge are designated ports. Bakit? Kasi ikaw na yung root bridge. The root port, ang sinasabi ni root port, ito yung daan ko na pinakamalapit papunta dun sa root bridge. So ano pa ang daan ko papuntang root kung ako na yung root? Okay, on a not root bridge, the port with the least root path cost is the root port. Basically, kung sino yung pinakamalapit dun sa root bridge mo. Yun yung magiging root port. On each physical segment, the bridge with the least root path cost is the designated bridge. And the port connecting the designated bridge to the physical segment is the designated port. So, mas mababa yung cost ko dito. Siyempre, ito yung magiging designated. And since ito may path doon, ito yung magiging alternate port or what you call yung blocking port. So ports that are neither designated ports or root ports are blocked. So yan po yung working ni model ni STP. This is ito yung pinakang concept ni STP on how it prevents loops. Okay. Depending on the link, for a non-root bridge, the root path cost is the sum of all port path cost on the least port path to the root bridge. On a non-root bridge, blah blah blah, it's more of root path cost na lang. So basically, the faster the interface you have, excuse me, the lower the cost. And the lower the cost, the better. Same with the OSPF as well. So, yung OSPF, i-discuss ni Kirby tomorrow. Okay. Okay. Bridge ID as a tiebreaker for port role assignment. So as I mentioned, if multiple ports are found with the least root path cost, the one connected to the upstream bridge with the lowest bridge ID is elected the root port. So kung may multiple path ka, yun yung i-elect na root port. Ganyan. You can have that path as well. So So it would really depend. If multiple bridges are connected to a physical segment with the least root path cost, the one with the lowest bridge ID, take note, lowest bridge ID, is elected as the designated bridge for the physical segment. The port connecting to the designated is assigned the role of a designated port. So yun, basically sinasabi lang niya yung kung anong mangyayari kapag may mga tie. So sa tiebreaker, for example, sa basketball, anong tiebreaker? Mag-overtime kayo. Sa election, anong tiebreaker? Toss coins. Di ba mas nakakatawa yung toss coin ng tiebreaker? Sa anong tiebreaker sa football, penalty shootout. So, yun, parang dinidiscuss lang niya ano yung mga tiebreakers if you have equal cost or something like that. So, syempre, since ito, mas mababa yung bridge ID niya kumpara dito sa isa, ay consider ko na mas malapit is this one. Okay. Next. As I mentioned, yung port ID can also be your tiebreaker. Same sa lahat, lower better. So we can see here, ito, gig 01, gig 02. Siyempre, yung gig 01 yung prefer na kasi mas mababa yung port ID. Unless, nag-define ka ng port priority. Given the same route path cost and the same upstream bridge, the port connected to the upstream port that has the lowest port ID wins out during route port election. So as I mentioned, pag mangyayari lang yon, yung port priority tsaka yung mga kapag if you have separate links going to the same destination. So in this case, ito yung route bridge. Siyempre pag route bridge ka, ang port mo is designated na, di ba? Designated. So siyempre, route port, hindi naman pwedeng designated to. Kasi yung designated to, ang mangyayari dito is mag-loop na siya. So, since it's not a designated port, this is an alternative port. So, yun po yung mechanism ni spanning tree. Quick transitioning. So, before a route or a designated port is transitions to the forwarding state, from the initial block, it must go through the listening and the learning state. This is at least for the traditional STP. Kasi as I mentioned, we'll be discussing yung MSTP as well. So sa MSTP, hindi na ito yung process niya. So parang tanggal na yan. You only have the listening, tanggal na yung learning, then forwarding na. Okay. Default forward delay is 15 seconds. So forward delay, so it's 15 plus 15, so you have 30 seconds of delay. So you have 30 seconds of delay. That's why minsan pag nagsaksa ka ng port, akala mo down pa o defective yung RJ45 cable mo dahil kay STP yun. So siya yung sisihin nyo bakit ganun yun. Siya yung sisihin nyo bakit ang tagal mag-up ng isang port. Kasi minsan you're frantically checking, ba't ayaw mag-up? May mali ba akong ginawa? May mali ba sa config? Something like that. Sometimes it's just STP, sometimes ARP lang siya. So take note of this kasi as I mentioned, we do have some enhancements here. Okay, drawbacks of STP, route or designated bridge, experience twice the forward delay to transition from blocking to forwarding. So if a topology changes frequently, lalo na kung halimbawa, medyo pipitik-pitik yung yung mga links mo. Yan, pipitik-pitik yan, nasa pipitik-pitik, lilipat. Kailangan mo munang tapusin yung forwarding delay bago lang makapag-forward layer 2 at the layer 2 level. Okay. If topology changes frequently, the network will constantly lose its connectivity. Lalong-lalo na kapag redundant yung link mo. So for example, naglagay ako ng switch dito, na isa pa. Siyempre magre-recompute yan. Nahanap ng path yan. What if na-down to? Na-down to. So, ikot siya pag medyo matagal. matagal na. That's 25 years ago. 25 years ago, so RSTP provides all the functions of STP. So yung loop prevention functionality, yung computation yun ng bridge, whatever the functionalities of STP are na kay RSTP. Ang pinag-iba lang is it achieves fast convergence. Mas mabilis yung convergence niya compared kay STP. But, syempre may delay pa rin kasi compute ka pa rin na STP. RSTP shortens the delay that the root or designated port must experience to transition from blocking to forwarding state. So may tinanggal siyang ilang doon. Let's see later. Listening forwarding, may tinanggal siya to speed up yung transition from blocking to forwarding. Improvements made to RSTP. So, port is selected as the root port by default. If a blocked alternate port is present, the delay is only a few milliseconds. So, milliseconds lang yan. So, mabilis yung recalculation. A port is selected as a designated port. By default, the transition delay is twice as the forward delay. If the designated port is a non-edge port, the transition delay depends on multiple factors. Now, here's the thing. If the designated port is an edge port, it moves to the forwarding state without any delay. So, nandito yung enhancement. Edge port. Let's see. Nandito yung definition of edge port.